This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
This is the case of ROSENSWEIG versus Rankin. You all have been together for 2 years. In fact, today is your 2-year anniversary. And where most people will be out celebrating their 2-year anniversary, Mr. ROSENSWEIG, you have brought Miss Rankin here to court and are accusing her of cheating. Tell us why you've opened this case.
I've opened this case, Your Honor, because I've been with her for the last 2 years. Things ran very smooth in the beginning. We met at a party. It was a party of a mutual friend. We actually went to high school together, but we were in no classes together. The first year was real smooth, and then she picked up this new job as a dog trainer, and she was out of the house a lot, trying to build up this clientele.
And that's why you brought her to court on your anniversary?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what does that feel like for you to believe that this young lady that you love and you spent this time with is cheating on you?
I mean, it doesn't feel good. I've done a lot for her.
Okay.
I've been there for her through a lot of stuff. And it just feels like, you know, she's taking advantage at this point.
All right, Ms. Rankin, why are you here?
I'm here to defend myself, to claim my innocence. He knows I'm not cheating. He's being ridiculous. This is our 2-year anniversary, and I'm here in court when I should be getting flowers and chocolate.
So what I'm hearing from you is not like, I feel sad, but you sound a little angry about all this.
I'm pissed, Your Honor.
So it's not just anger, you are beyond that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Your Honor.
So what was it like in the beginning with him?
In the beginning, it was great. He was the perfect boyfriend. I was at kind of a low point when I met him.
Okay.
And he brought me up, made me feel good about myself. And now I'm just over it because I've been having to defend myself way too much.
Wow.
Okay.
Ooh, things have made a real turn.
Mr. ROSENSWEIG, she said in the beginning, you put the swag in ROSENSWEIG.
Oh.
You know, you were the man.
I like that.
What did you like about her when you first met her?
I liked her smile. She was very nice in the beginning, but you know.
What went wrong? Because it sounds like things were going well. Where did the turn come?
I would say about 6 months ago when she started this new job.
This new job is something else. Tell me about this job.
You know, she told me after the training was done that she'll be working from home and she'll be bringing the dogs home to train them there.
Okay.
You know, the dogs will come by sometimes. Sometimes they're real terrible. They'll tear my shoes up. They'll do stuff like that. If I had known that I was gonna go through 3 pairs of Jordans a week with her dogs that she brings through the house, maybe I would have been a little less supportive or I would have been out in the beginning.
They obviously can tell something that I couldn't.
You're talking about the dogs?
Yeah.
So you think the dogs are chewing up his shoes because of how he is?
Yes.
All right, so tell me how this job has affected you. Why do you think that because of the job, there's been this turn in your relationship?
Okay, you wanna hear a story? We went to go get an oil change a few weeks ago.
Okay.
We sat there for like 4 hours and she just didn't speak to me. She was fully involved in the phone. You know, I was asking her questions like, who are you texting, stuff like that, even though I don't like asking questions like this.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Anyway.
What made you think that she was texting somebody that you might be involved with? What was it about?
The way she looks at the phone. You can see the way she's laughing at certain things.
What does that look like? Show me what that looks like.
It's just a smile. Show us the smile, come on.
So she's texting and she just gets this look on her face.
Yeah.
You know,
okay,
back around Labor Day, one of our sons was texting, and we were at a family gathering, he's off to the side, and he's just texting. And then he, texting again, and he had this look on his face. And I just very calmly asked him, so what's her name? He kind of dropped his head. He's like, how do you know? I said, I know what that looks like.
It's the body language.
It's the body language. That's what you saw.
Yep, so we went back to the house, and her phone was dead and she needed a charger. She told me to go look through her purse. So I went to go look for the charger in her purse, and I found 3 Magnum condoms where she hides her cards. And I took a picture just to have some proof.
Okay, do you have that?
I do have this.
Rob, would you please get the evidence, please?
All right, so you go in the other room.
Yes.
With the condoms, and you confront her. What do you say?
I said, what are these? Where did these come from? And she told me that she had, stopped taking her pills and that she got these from the doctor. And I said, the doctor doesn't give away Magnum condoms, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, let me not to, get all in your business,
We'll
but
get there. we gotta find out.
We gotta find out. The question is, do you use Magnums?
No.
Honestly, we don't use condoms.
You don't use condoms?
Never.
Okay, so you're like, why do you have these if we don't use them?
Exactly.
And you're thinking if the condom don't fit.
Listen, I went to the doctor to start a new birth control. The first month doesn't work. And at the doctor, I grabbed a handful of condoms for us, And I have friends that are very promiscuous that I grabbed them for also.
That sounds good,
It
right?
was very innocent. I think he's just not appreciating me enough. He's a leprechaun and I'm his pot of gold. So I think he should just...
So what kind of doctor's office is giving out Magnum condoms?
Yeah, they usually just have generic.
This was a very fancy doctor's office.
No doubt.
Clearly, yeah. And look, and not only did she grab some for herself, she's like, oh, she would want some. And,
Yeah.
oh, I know she'd want some.
Because she's a giver.
Yeah, and I know she wants some. Excuse me, do you have a bag I can put these in so I can take them to all my friends? Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's your story.
Yes, Your Honor.
You weren't using these condoms
No.
with someone else.
No.
All right, Mr. Rosenswag, why else do you think she's cheating?
We had this dog at the house, and this was probably the worst dog that she's trained so far. She told me that she was finally going to drop the dog back off with its owner, and she was going to collect her money. It was only going to take like a half hour. 2 hours go by, and I hadn't heard from her, and I was texting her, FaceTiming her, doing all that stuff. And she comes back, and she has no money.
Okay, Ms. Rankin, who'd you spend the money on?
I didn't spend the money. The owner of the dog I was training was one of my friends. I hadn't seen her for a while, so when I dropped the dog off, we were just catching up. My phone died. Literally, everything is innocent.
So
be
you're
honest.
saying that you went and you're saying it was a female friend. I
Yeah,
heard that.
yes.
So you were not there, you were not with another man is what you're saying.
No.
But
no.
you believe that she was.
It's always a female. She always say it's a dog trainer, it's always a girl. But when I see, I've seen over her shoulder at her phone before, and I see what she texts. And I've caught her, and she just lies. She just lies straight to your face. She'll start twirling her hair, and I catch her in everything.
You just twirling her hair. That's
Yeah.
her sign.
That's her
sign,
tail.
yeah,
That's her tail.
See,
Yeah,
right there.
that's
She's
her tail.
like, well, she was giving us an example.
Those are her
Hey,
things.
don't forget the classic, my phone died.
Yes, I heard that. I heard that.
No, she'll keep her
phones
phone
die
on.
at the most inopportune times is always when the other person is looking for you.
And you gone, and you been gone, and you been gone longer than you said you're gonna be gone. That's when the phone dies.
That's when
Doesn't
the phone
anybody have
dies.
a charger in their car?
Nobody has a charger, nobody has an outlet, nobody has anything.
You know what she does is slick? She leaves the phone on. That way, like, messages go through, and she can say, see, my phone didn't die one time.
He has my location on his phone. He tracks my location.
The problem is that when you're telling him, I'm gonna be gone for 30 minutes, and then you end up being gone for 2 hours. That's what
It's
raises
not-
the suspicion.
It's not my job to show him every paycheck I get.
But Ms. Rankin, think of it this way. What if he did that? What if he said, hey, I'm going somewhere, I'll be back in a half hour, and I'm going to pick up some money. He comes back 2 or 3 hours later, no explanation, no money. How would that make you feel?
She would snap.
Honestly,
Honestly.
honestly, it wouldn't bother me because I know he wouldn't
Yeah,
be getting
sounds
other
good.
girls.
Come on, Ms. Rankin.
Okay.
He looks like a kneecap with hair.
Yo.
He's not going to be getting other girls. I'm not worried about it.
He got
with
you?
hair.
Yeah.
Wait. You say he's not going to get any other girls. He got you?
I'm the best that he's ever got.
Well, with that attitude, that might not necessarily hold out to be true. He's accusing you of cheating.
Yes.
And if he finds out you're cheating, this relationship could be over.
Yes, Your Honor.
You realize that, right?
I do.
And then you'll be in the doghouse.
Have you caught her with any other issues with any other dogs?
Not any other dogs, but she did pick up this new job as a reptile assistant. Yeah, she's a snake handler now.
I like snakes.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I'm good with wrangling snakes.
I don't like snakes. So that's just a lot right
if I
there.
do that,
No, don't do that.
Don't do that?
Yeah, that's creeping me out, man.
So, Your Honor, she's supposed to be working 6 to 8 hours a week at this job.
Okay.
Okay? The first day, she goes to work, and she's texting me, and she's telling me it's the worst job ever, and then all of a sudden, she just disappears. And I understand she would have to put the reptiles away and go back to the
working.
person's house. And she says she's working,
Okay.
but where does she go for 3 hours when the phone's off and all of this stuff? And
That's
Working.
where the questions are.
I was doing an educational program. I bring the reptiles to schools, birthday parties, and I give a whole program for little kids.
Is there any reason why you can't share with him what you're doing? Like, babe.
I told him I was going. He knows what I'm doing.
Well, clearly he
Well,
doesn't.
clearly it doesn't because
It's his insecurities.
in the beginning.
No.
you say you're handling snakes and he thinks you're being a snake.
Wow. Wow, Mr. Cullen, you just went there.
Yeah.
Am I right?
That was
Yeah.
good, yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one hurt a little bit.
Look, these are his allegations against you.
She's a snake. She is a snake.
It's very important for me, for Mr. Cutler to be happy. He knows who I'm with. He knows what I'm doing. He knows where I'm going. And that way he knows that I'm not handling snakes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and let's put it in your world, in your terms, because you say you're the best he's ever gonna do.
Yes.
And so if you're all that, then you should put his mind at ease and let him know that you're into him if you are. Do you love him?
Yes. Your Honor.
You care about him?
Yes.
Mr. Rosenswag, do you love her?
Yes.
You care about her?
Yes.
You want to be with her?
I would like to be, if she stopped being shady, it would be completely different.
Right.
So let me just say this, love. I think we have enough. And what we have is he believes that she's cheating because her attitude has changed since the dog training. He found condoms, a specific kind of condom in her purse, and they don't use condoms. And then he says his girlfriend is lying. He believes she's lying about the kind of snakes she's handling. She's out there handling snakes, but which one?
Right. And the text messages, the look she gets when she's secretly texting while they're together.
And because of that, he believes she's cheating, and if she's cheating, he's done.
Yeah, I'm out.
Right here on their 2-year anniversary, they're either up or down.
All right. Well, to get to the bottom of these cheating allegations, this court has done a full and complete investigation. At this time, the court will call forensic voice analyst Guy Wolf to determine, is she cheating? Mom, please escort Mr. Wolf into the courtroom. Good day, sir. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Your Honor. How about you?
Doing well. It's good to see you.
You too.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Would you state your credentials, please, for the record?
Yes, Your Honor. I am a forensic voice analyst, and I've been in law enforcement for more than 23 years.
All right. Explain to our litigants how forensic voice analysis works.
Forensic voice analysis works on the spoken word. When you speak, you have 2 frequencies in your voice, AM and FM. And when you tell a lie, the FM frequency goes away. It shows up a certain way on our computer, as you see here on the monitor. One of the things that we also do is we will ask a series of baseline questions to kind of get an idea of what someone is going to respond, or how they're going to respond, or even how they're going to do on the test.
Did you learn anything during your pretest with Ms. Rankin?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. Before I conducted the voice analysis, I asked Ms. Rankin how she would do on the test. Ms. Rankin replied, I plead the 5th.
Ms. Rankin,
Yes, Your Honor.
why did you plead the 5th?
I was really nervous. I've never taken anything like this before, and I don't know how much I trust the results.
You don't trust the results, or you don't trust yourself?
The results.
And you understand this is what they use in law enforcement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is a way that you all catch criminals.
Yes, ma'am.
So is there anything you need to tell him? Because we're going to get the results. And these results don't lie.
No, I
But
have
if
nothing to say.
You have nothing to say.
No.
All right. The results don't lie, but the question is, do you?
We'll find out.
All right, Mr. Wolf?
No, you gonna find out. Let's be real clear.
Let's take a look at the first question you asked Ms. Rankin.
The day your boyfriend Matthew found condoms in your purse, did you buy those condoms to have sexual intercourse with another man?
No.
What did the forensic voice analysis determine?
The forensic voice analysis determined that she was being deceptive, Your Honor.
Like I said, you gonna find out.
I don't trust these results.
There's nothing to not trust, Kelly.
The only reason
You don't trust the results?
Go ahead, love.
We're in the same place.
I know.
We're
Just
the same
you do
place.
it. You do it.
You don't trust the results because you think something's wrong. You don't trust results because they found you out.
I think something's wrong. I've never cheated on him ever or planned on it.
All right. Let's take a look at the next question.
The day you say you worked a reptile assistant job, did you have sexual intercourse with another man?
No.
What did the forensic voice analysis determine?
The voice analysis determined that she was being deceptive again, Your Honor.
All right.
This is ridiculous.
It is. And I think you think it's ridiculous for one reason. I definitely think it's ridiculous for another one. Let's take a look at the final question.
Since the beginning of your relationship in October of 2016, have you had sexual intercourse with any man besides your boyfriend, Matthew?
No.
What did the forensic analysis determine?
The voice analysis determined that she was being deceptive, Your Honor.
Nope. No. I don't believe that. I'm done with this relationship.
That's the
I'm pissed.
That's
I'm
the
pissed.
best you can do.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I don't
Well,
think
I'm
there's
kinda
a-
done
I'm
with
kind
you.
of done. I'm kind of done.
Would you escort her out?
Yeah.
'Cause we both done.
I'm over this.
This is ROSENSWEIG.
Yeah.
I don't know how you
Sorry.
put up with that for as long as you have.
I'm done with it now.
Yeah, and you
she's sleeping in
deserve
the
better.
doghouse. She's gonna sleep in the doghouse.
And you kind of knew
I'm
it. You
good.
kind of knew in your heart.
Yeah, I know my gut. My gut's always. I have very strong intuition, and usually when I think something like this, I'm correct.
Well, let me just say this. You're a nice guy, and you seem like your heart's in the right place. You
appreciate
deserve a woman who's going to appreciate you for that, who's not going to call you
Thank you.
a kneecap with hair. You deserve better than that.
And Mr. ROSENSWEIG, as
Yes.
further confirmation, we performed a polygraph examination on Ms. Rankin, and our executive producer, Maisha Mizuno, has those results for you after we adjourn.
Okay. Thank you.
As we say in this courtroom, do not cheat yourself out of an opportunity to have a happy, healthy relationship. Court is adjourned.
Have you had sexual intercourse with any man besides your boyfriend Matthew? You said no. You failed that question as well. But I just wanted to let you know, because you did take 2 examinations, that both examinations, independent of each other, support the same answers.
Yeah, I'm done with this.